friend or foe? There's no way to know. In the battlefield of life, it's kill or be killed. Kill or Be Killed is a 1980 martial arts action film from director Ivan Hall. The movie opens with, oh wait, that's just one of the production companies. Okay, the movie opens in the desert and, this guy again. So they're just gonna project the whole cast on his chest? Alright. It's Body Parts Theater. This enthusiastic music doesn't feel right. I think this'll work better. It really does go with everything. So the car is driving in the desert, and oh no, I didn't know this was gonna venture into Nazi-sploitation. The car is right here. Oh wait, it's way over there. I guess we still have some credits left. Look at my crotch while I make silly noises. After the credits, this guy announces the winner of the duel can come to his castle for further training. Speaking of castle, here's a model of one. Inside the castle, Baron von Rudloff arrives. The hero, Steve Hunt, doesn't realize he isn't giving an inner monologue.
The mad one. Still on the battlefield. Treats us like he's tin soldiers. Quiet!
The Baron is having a flashback, I think? My god, what is going on? This video's already flagged for demonetization and I haven't even uploaded it yet. The Baron's brought back to reality when he remembers he's building an army of martial arts champions. Apparently he's been chatting with Reverend Ree. Ruel is the Harvey Weinstein of karate instructors. This upsets Steve. For each action, there is an equal, opposite, and silly reaction. The two face off, but this editing makes it kinda hard to see what's going on. Good to see the laws of physics do not apply here. Things get too exciting, so they switch to slow motion. That way everyone can see the choreography. The Baron's assistant, Chico, tries to stop them, but oh my god! Ruel needs to work on his insults.
I think I'll put you in my pocket!
Steve tries to confront the Baron about why the fighters are being held in the castle. Olga's trying to get Steve to admit why he stayed at the castle.
The only reason I stuck it out for so long is because I want to marry you!
At last!
And they realize just how silly this movie is. The Baron wants Chico to keep an eye on Steve and Olga. He then contacts a guy in Tokyo. He sends a package to Mr. Miyagi! Okay, Miyagi. Inside the package is a diamond. It looks like Steve and Olga aren't the only ones getting married. Steve's talking to Chico. He tells him the only reason he came to the castle was for money, but he stayed for love. Steve then beats up the cameraman. Baron unveils his master plan to get his karate team to fight Mr. Miyagi's karate team. He wants to reenact a Colosseum battle from 1941 in Berlin.
It is not a dog that is man's best friend, but diamonds.
I thought diamonds were a girl's best friend. Exciting plane landing footage! After weeks of training, the Baron tells the fighters why they're there. He wants them to compete in an Olympiad. It's a battle between Germany and Japan. But shouldn't his team be from Germany? You mean to tell me Baron von Rudloff is a cheater? The Baron tells them the grand prize is whatever they want. Ooh, I want his foil Pokemon collection! No way! The Baron tells Olga she's no good and sends her home. Steve tries to leave, but is told to read his contract, which says he's stuck there. Ruel then tries to light him on fire. Oh, now you done it. You set the drapes on fire. I'm telling Mom. Chico then puts out the fire. Sure is a good thing they had a hose in the house. The next day, Miyagi arrives.
May I hold it for a moment, please?
Mr. Miyagi? Oh, you mean the diamond.
What do you call it?
The heart of the ocean. The Baron gives him the diamond in exchange for a rematch. Miyagi's 20 fighters versus the Baron's. Steve's trying to figure out how to escape with Olga. These two argue like they're already married.
All right over there by the second dune next to the ice cream stand.
Olga, will you please shut up for a minute?
The fighters get bored and harass Chico. He gets a few good shots in. Looks like he's been taking lessons from Wang Wang. He's trapped when Steve arrives to rescue him. Steve and Olga then get Chico to help them escape. Steve's so happy he's showing off. That night a car arrives, so Steve and Olga escape. The Baron tries to shoot them, but they get away. While he missed them, he did shoot the fuel line, so they don't get very far. It's night in the desert, and they're being watched by ghosts! So Steve has to take off his shirt and show him who's boss. Okay, he's being attacked by German shepherds? No! Bad dog! Steve fights off the dogs and goes back to the car for some good Olga lovin'. The Baron sends Chico out to get 13 new fighters. The next day they disassemble the car because what else is there to do? They remove all the parts to build... Oh, this is some MacGyver-style bullshit. Whee! I think the heat of the desert's gotten to them. They just so happen to find a research team. Steve and Olga make it back home safely. Instead of going to the police to report the evil Nazi karate camp, they go shopping. Uh-oh, it looks like Miyagi found them. Wait, why does he care? Wouldn't he be happy the Baron's best fighter is gone? He notifies Ruel, who goes to get Olga. They really need stronger doors. He then busts up the place. This is what I want to do when I hear Dave Matthews Band. Have you ever been so mad that you roundhouse kick a piano? He knocks them both out and takes Olga back to the Baron. Steve comes home to see the mess. The hell did you girls do today? Wait a minute. I think something bad may have happened. Back at the Honeycomb hideout, the cameraman's trying desperately to get the Baron and Olga framed in the same shot. He tells Olga if Steve rejoins the team, he'll forget everything that happened. Like he'll forget that he signed the contract? How far back does this memory thing go?
Getting together the best 20 karate fighters in the world.
And here's some of them! Chico travels around the world trying to acquire some of the best fighters, but he keeps getting the short end of the stick. He even tries to hire Nickelback. He goes to see another group, and I got really excited for a minute, thinking that these guys were fighting the Omega Cop. If you weren't sure if this was a model before, this should clear up any doubt. Dear Diary, Day 3 of the stupid castle prison for jerks. Chico travels around, and random karate fights always seem to break out. He annoys this guy so much he punches a watermelon and trashes his desk. They need another action scene, so Chico is counting money out in the open and gets robbed, so he chases this guy. The guy, of course, knows karate. So do these random construction workers. Chico hits this guy over the head with a clock, and he finally gives in and joins Team Baron. Or is that Team Von Rudloff? The next day, training montage! Steve's training on Miyagi's side. There has gotta be an easier way to dig through this. The montage goes on for several minutes until it stops abruptly. Ow, 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 this burns, why do we do this? Chico comes to tell Steve that Olga's safe, but she may not be if he doesn't return. Both teams meet up and head back to the castle. So finally, the fighting tournament starts. The Baron tells Steve since he betrayed him, Ruel is gonna kill Olga. Chico sprints to the rescue. Meanwhile, Steve has to fight Ogre. Chico locks the door, but Ruel isn't stopped by doors. He takes him out by... Chico rushes back just in time to save Steve. Wow, Chico is the real hero of the movie.
I am beginning to doubt your loyalty.
I wonder why. Ruel got knocked so hard he forgets why he was there and leaves Olga alone. Oh wait, he remembered. Steve hears her scream and comes to the rescue. I'm not sure why he keeps doing this. Just when he has the upper hand, the guards show up to take him away. Day 2 of the tournament. Weird that the good guys are wearing black and the bad guys are wearing white. Uh-oh, these guys are beat at fighting. Steve beats Ruel and ties the score 19-19. Mr. Miyagi thinks intently. For his last defender, he picks Steve. And the Baron picks... Oh, plot twist! He then announces it's a fight to the death. I didn't sign up for this. Chico tries to get Steve's attention. Alright, what am I looking for here? I don't see anything. What the hell? Oh, okay, this guy. She throws Steve into the crowd. They launch him to the tower and he grabs the Baron. He did not see that one coming. The big guy pulls Steve off the Baron and the guards take all the fighters to the prison. Chico goes to see Steve and Olga. They kick down the papier-mâché wall, which alerts the guard. He He can't see there's a big hole in the wall? The fighters join forces to bend the bars. This guy doesn't seem happy. Why do I have to be so close to their feet? Chico beats up the guard and the fighters are free. Now they're all headed for the Baron. The Baron takes Olga hostage. Isn't she supposed to be one of the best fighters? Why are they making her so defenseless now? The Baron escapes with the big guy and Olga. Steve follows close behind. What is he doing? Does he even know how to drive? He rolls the truck multiple times until it lands in front of the Baron. Steve then fights the big guy. He's flipping over Gigantor and builds up enough momentum to give him a good throat kick. Knowing he's lost, Chico leaves a gun for the Baron, who then shoots himself. Wow! No ending credits either, just blammo, the end. The movie was shot in the mid-70s in South Africa. It was originally released in the US as Karate Killer in 1976, and largely went unnoticed. A year later, it was released in South Africa as Karate Olympiad. In the late 1970s, the martial arts craze was fully taking hold in the US. To capitalize on this, the distributors took Karate Killer, renamed it to Kill or Be Killed, and re-released it back into theaters. This time it did very well and spawned a sequel, Kill and Kill Again, in 1981. Much like the original, the sequel was shot in South Africa, but this time they also filmed part of it in the US. The sequel was an international success, and the studio planned on a third film, but never made it, possibly because they went bankrupt a few years later. The star of the film, James Ryan, was a trained martial arts fighter, and Karate Killer was his first leading role. He went on to star mostly in action and sci-fi movies like Rage to Kill, Codename Vengeance, and the Mystery Science Theater 3000 favorite, Space Mutiny. Ivan Hall was a producer and director who worked on numerous films since 1962. It wasn't until 1980, with the re-release of Kill or Be Killed, that he had his first bona fide success. His biggest hit was the sequel, Kill and Kill Again, and while he continued directing until 1988, he never had another film that reached that level of success. In 2007, he was honored by the National Film, Video, and Sound Archives for his invaluable contributions to the South African film industry. He sadly died in 2008 of leukemia. Kill or Be Killed is a crazy karate movie. The premise is just bonkers, with a war criminal forcing this karate tournament as a way to win back his honor he lost back when he was defeated in the 1936 Summer Olympics. James Ryan's a badass, and Daniel Duplessis is an incredibly likable hero. While they had members of the Japan Karate Association of South Africa on hand for the choreography, it doesn't always get showcased the best due to the somewhat sloppy camera work. You can tell some amazing things are going on, it's just not always easy to see. Still, it's a bizarre and enjoyable karate film that's definitely worth a watch. Not the greatest martial arts movie ever made, but the greatest martial arts movie ever made about an expert who makes silly noises and beats up karate Nazis.
You've been licking his whatchamacallit again.
When I'm finished with you, you will have to call to lick mine. I'm so small but so persistent.